and I'll just do the Rex. But let's enjoy it as we can. What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Joe. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Oranos, his name is Kimo. The map is Blue Lagoon, and this is the Grand Finals for the Bill Gregg Open. $1,000 tournament. Both these players had to fight through some incredible competition. The likes of Shelty, Hell's Ravage, Player, Scardy, Matrius, and there was one other player who has escaped my... maybe I named them all, I don't know. But there's been some insane games in this best, or since this round of 16, and all these players have really proven that they are amazing at this game. And we're finally here. This is the best of 7. This is the first best of 7 we're going to see. We're going to see 2 special maps if it goes the distance. Those special maps are from that Keen Flame map pool or map set, whatever you want to call it. Those are the good things. We've got the houses coming up for Joe. He's getting ready to prepare to defend against any impending Kimo aggression. Set versus Oranos is such an interesting matchup because unlike the other Egyptian gods, Set has a really aggressive early game which can really hurt the Oranos players, especially on things like these giraffe and all of that other stuff. We've got Oracle getting hit by a hyena over here as well, having to send him back to the base. That's going to delay the scouting of Kimo. We're seeing Kimo opt to not pig scout. This is actually really smart against Set. You don't want to pig scout against Set just in case the hyena gets antsy. And generally speaking, the hyena will get antsy and look for your oracles and then potentially grab your pig scouts. Joe's not doing that though. He's sending that hyena back to the base, doing all of that other good stuff. Rhinoceros running up to the top here, just checking all that other good things out. And I think this looks like we're just seeing a standard opening here from Kimo. Not doing a 4-minute advance time. He's got some nice hunt over here, so the 430 is probably incoming. I'm interested to see if Joe goes for that priest aggression that he did against Scardy, I believe. He did like an Anubis priest attack, priest pharaoh attack onto the gold mine of Kimo, and we'll see if that's a thing. It looks like he's moving forward for these rhinoceros here. I think he'll be able to eat the rhino by 430 pretty easily. He should be able to eat this and then be on his merry way, grabbing this elephant as well. It looks like he's gearing up to grab this town center. Just because he's moving forward, it seems like the obvious thing to do. There's some hunt over here he could grab that would be relatively safe, but this hunt does set him up for this town center. We've got temple coming up for Joe, and we have a temple coming up for Kimo. So that's going to be 430. Oh, is this a late temple? I'm not sure when Kimo would have this timing down for sure. Going to get this last villager up. Temple goes up, and we're going to see a Prometheus coming through for Kimo. We're going to be seeing a Tar coming through. Both 430 it looks like. Nope, going for a 445 here. Maybe Joe not quite on the resources there. A little bit below what you would think. That's a little bit disappointing. I would have thought he would have had the resources to get up there, but not quite there. And we are seeing Prometheus coming through for Kimo. The Rhinoceros just checking out what's going on, saying good day. Kimo getting this mana down. This is really important. If you don't get this mana down, shifting sands from Pharaoh and Priest is brutal because the Pharaoh doesn't have that nerf that was given to him on the Vulu Balance Patch 4.0, in that he does negative 50% damage. He does half damage against villagers until you get the upgrade. But against Atlantean, he does full damage. So he can pick off some citizens really, really quickly. So we'll see what he goes for. Kimo's actually got some pretty precarious villages over here, but he does have the Sentry Tower he can go into. So every single one of his villages right now is protected by some sort of garrison source. So if Joe does go for this attack, which he's got the army for it. The double priest and pharaoh is generally what you do. You make 2 priests, you use pharaoh, you get your animals, you get everything, you get your Wadjet, your shifting sands onto some villages somewhere. And it does not look like, or it does look like he's doing it. He's sending the pharaoh forward. He's grabbing the back town center, which does have some monkeys or some baboon over here. He's going to cast the vision, see this entire area. He sees this over here. He has to make a decision on what to attack here. I'm not sure what he's going to go for. The villagers are getting attacked over here. He does jump straight on top of this. Does not get the path block there. Unlucky for Joe. The villagers go straight into this sentry tower. He almost picks one off, but it's not going to be enough. These villagers all getting picked off. Kimo doing some ridiculous damage to Joe, and now losing 2 villagers there is gigantic. When he went for the aggression on that shifting sands play, he's going to be searching around looking for something to do. This villagers back here is still idle. Gets them back onto the trees, and he's going to be hitting someone's over here, just trying to deal the damage that he can. We're going double counter barracks now for Kimo, trying not to lose these juicy huntables right here. 500 food and 375 food in these ones. You want to do as much damage as you can. Can potentially chuck the pharaoh into this location and be okay. Now we're seeing the oracles and the Prometheans searching for this town center. They're going to see it going up. They're going to see it get up. And there's nothing you can do now with these oracles. They're going to start getting picked off by the town center. Villagers fight them off. And Joe's got his town center up. And he's going to be happy about that one. Not happy about losing the 2 villagers on the front. Those are really important food villages right there. But he is pumping villagers non-stop right now. And he's going to have to deal with these Terma here. So that's totally fine. Going to be in a decent position there. He can sort of retreat now. He's got the... he can probably greet these guys on the way back as well. But just retreat here. Save your animals. Save your hunt. Move back, eat that hunt as you're trying to boom here and getting to that next age. Ooh, nice. Was that a shockwave? What on? Or he tries to pick off the Wadjet. That's fair enough. The Wadjet's not a big deal though. I would have preferred to see if he could pick off these elephant here. Looks like Joe's trying to sacrifice the gazelle. They've only got 75 food in them, but if he can keep these elephant alive, it's huge. It's huge. He needs to get as much food as he can. You can see he's kind of struggling to produce from 2 town centers here. There's only 1 baboon here as well. And now the animals are back in here. Villagers are finding this gold mine over here as well to gather gold from, as he is putting up all of these walls as well, preventing the raids. Joe kind of recognizes that he's seen the double counter barrack, so he realizes these walls are incredibly safe. Priest in the back here with 12 range versus the 12 range of the Terma means that it's going to be really hard for any melee units to attack this one here. We do see some barracks coming up with some slingers, and we've got the armory coming up now. Second town center for Kimo. And it's probably going to be a fast 3rd town center, I would assume, here for Kimo, is generally what we've been seeing from Oranos players in response to fast 2 town center plays. Nice micro there from Kimo, stopping the wooden wall from coming up there. Now we can sort of move forward and harass, but it's looking like going to set up this wall as well. So even if he pushes through this this wall here, Joe should be fine in this corner. But Kimo's getting a little bit ahead here. Looks like Joe's doing what he wants here. He's getting the armory up. He's got the slingers pumping out. He's got a lot of villagers. He's eating the elephant and the rhino. So that's all going to be good. Oracle does get picked off. And by the time he pushes through here, should be able to just sit on this town center, defend this gold mine. Maybe he might have to throw up a watchtower. Might not be a bad idea just to secure it. But 3rd town center coming up for Kimo. He's going to have his 2nd one anytime soon. Still pumping out these Terma. And this is just standard Oranos right here. It's really nice play. And he's going to move forward and try and do some good stuff in this location. Looks like he's gonna find this wall, but it does come up there, so it does take a lot of damage though from the Terma. I wonder if you can sort of actually defend against these walls indefinitely now against the Terma, because they have 16 range, so he should be able to fight them fine as long as he sits in a decent position. Might have to throw up another wall over here or something. Get a little bit of a fight. Yep. Ooh, nice micro from Kimo, pulling those Terma away, taking a little bit of damage, but nothing too drastic. 3rd town center just about to come up, and Joe is going to be sitting pretty here. Nephi is going to be coming through, and looking like some slinger micro against the Terma here. It's going to be what he's going for. Another wall getting thrown up. He's realizing this wall's almost going down. You can just keep throwing up walls indefinitely, hey. And Kimo, with all of these Terma, has not slowed down his economy one bit. If you're just building Terma, it makes it really easy to spam out villages. So he's in a really good position to go for like a semi-fast Titan here if he so chooses, or grab this 4th town center or something like that. We'll just continue to pressure Joe, but Nephthys is coming, and we're not going to be seeing a heroic age from Kimo for at least another 2 to 3 minutes here, probably 2 minutes. Until he hits that in that next stage. We're seeing, yeah, he's got no resources in the bank at the moment. Joe's got quite a few. Joe could potentially just sit here and semi-fast Mythic as well, because he's still got this large gold mine. He's got this medium gold mine here with gold left in it. He's got no real need to move out, so we'll see if he goes for that. The issue with Set, though, against Atlantean, you don't get access to that Son of Osiris. Son of Osiris completely rinses this Terma army, but he's not going to have any access to that one, obviously. We're seeing the Migdol Stronghold coming up. Looks like Joe wants to secure this gold mine and start moving forward onto this town center. Can use Ancestors to secure this if he wants. These slingers, with this ball of slingers here, they kind of counter the Terma when the Terma kind of counter each other. But the issue with the slinger ball is the shockwave. And there we go. That shockwave comes in, sends these guys flying, and Kimo's going to micro as best as he can here. Picks off a bunch of slingers there for free. Well, not for free, for a shockwave. But the Migdol Stronghold's up now. We're going to start seeing some Chariot Archers. I'd actually like to see like 1 Elephant just to go into the front and tank. And also a Siege Workshop to get those Siege Towers out. Nice micro from Kimo, pulling back onto the top side. Doing really nicely so far in order to keep Joe at bay here. The Murmillo coming down, and we're seeing the hero Terma getting targeted. You need to pick those guys off before you cast Ancestors. Joe may have to cast Ancestors here. He's almost run out of Hunt as well in his base. Does he have Shadoof? No, I don't think he has Shadoof. I'm not sure where you see if you have Shadoof or not, but seeing some camera getting produced at this point. Slinger's going down. Joe is in a bit of a tight spot. Now we're seeing Kimo transition into military barracks. I don't see any, no, there's no sign of going to that next age here. Joe really doesn't need to fight this at this point. He needs to figure out a way to get this town center is everything right now. But Kimo is just skyrocketing ahead here, sitting at max supply. He probably could delete some units here and get those extra villages out, because part of this 3-town center semi-fast Mythic is important to get to max civilian unit supply, and having sitting on 99% is not really what you want, but that's fine. Is he still pumping out units? No, he's cancelled all of his units as well, so he's smart. He knows what he's doing. Try and make some efficient trades with the Terma and get the rest of those villages out, which he has done. And we are seeing Hyperion is on its way, and we're seeing Plow coming through for Joe as he's starting to transition into farms. There's not really much for him to do here, and what's he got? He's got a couple of hundred. He's got 100 food in the bank, a lot of favor in the bank. No Shadoof coming out. Lots of upgrades for Kimo. Kimo's economy is booming hard. We're seeing this town center looking like it's going to get grabbed. It should go up. I don't think that this army can quite deal with what Joe's got at this point. Hyperion's going to come in though and use Chaos. So it's all about delaying this town center if you can. But it's looking like maybe too much. So even if you chaos this army at this point here, it's potentially going to be too much. Nice trades right now from Kimo, trying to pick off as many of those slingers as he can. Loses a lot of units, but I think that was kind of part of the point. We've seen a lot of military barracks here. We can start seeing Archers coming out as a replacement for these Terma, and we can start seeing Murmillo pumping as well. So Kimo setting up for this. It's like 800 score ahead of Joe currently, just because of how important having 3 town centers is. And we're going to see that market get thrown down somewhere. Market's already thrown down. Is he going to the Mythic Age? No Mythic Age just yet. We're seeing a Palace come through. Kimo's got no resources in the bank here. Yeah. Oh, he's going through. Okay. Perfect. I don't think I've seen an Oranos player play this perfectly in terms of macro since Army Corps. This is a 15-minute. This is like a 15-minute semi-fast Mythic Age with pressure, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kimo follow this up with a fast Titan here. He does have to worry about Tornado, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe he can get it out before Joe can get there or not. We'll see what happens there. I'm not 100% sure. We've got the army looking to come through this wooden wall, put some pressure over here. We got the destroyers out as well, and they're going to take so much damage. There is a cavalry to distract from the archer fire if he can do that or not. The Terma coming in, going to be able to do a lot of damage. Joe kind of needs to retreat here with these chariots. You don't want to lose those ones and trade them for the Terma, and you need to micro these slingers on top of the Terma here. But so far, everything's lining up really well for Kimo. We got the more barracks coming up for Joe. Fortified town center for Joe coming up, and quarry copper weapons Hecate coming through for Kimo as he is ready to put that Tartarian gate with this Terma into the base. Look right here. Tartarian gate right here is what he wants. We'll see if he goes for it or not. Pick off all of those houses. Make a push onto this gold mine, which he's done. These villagers idle in the back. There's the Tartarian gate. Picks off almost everything there. Ancestors comes down onto this Tartarian gate. Villagers going to get pulled off and start running onto this gate here. Shockwave coming in onto this location. Villagers getting retreated here as Kimo is making a move in. Villagers off the line onto the Tartarian gate. These Tartarians spawn. They focus down the ancestors first, except all the last two that jump out will kill whatever they jump out at. And now this Tartarian gate going to get traded for an ancestors, which is completely fine. And then I think the ancestors should be able to pick off all of those Tartarian spawns with the help of those villagers. Oh, sorry, with the town center. So it looks like Joe doesn't lose too many villagers there. So a good trade. And he's got to be happy with that. But Kimo now, what's he doing? What's his idea? He's getting fortified town centers, engineers, carpenters, heavy cavalry. Maybe he's going to look at coming onto this town center with engineered fire siphons. Maybe that's going to be huge. These fire siphons do real damage, and there's not a lot of options for Joe to stop this. His trade route has not been set up. These Tartarian spawns are still doing work. He has no priest over here to deal with it because the temple got picked off. Has Joe restarted his houses? He's short 3 houses at the moment. Sitting at full supply. It's looking like he really wants to go to that mythic age. If he can get there, Tornado, Kimo, he should be in a decent position. But Kimo is just putting this pressure on. It's completely immense right now. And here we go, making a move forward. Looking like the Terma jumping onto these heavy chariots yet again. Just incredible micro from Kimo in this game. And now the Siege Workshop coming down by that 5-7. Going to 5-7 to refocus with 170 HP left. But Kimo just happy to just flood in here right now. The army from Joe has no armory upgrades versus copper armory upgrades and bronze weapons. Now the Pharaoh in here can start picking off those satyrs and the Lampade in the back, but the Arcus do pick him off right here, and Joe just getting absolutely decimated, and he taps out. GG, well played by Kimo. Takes the first win, goes up 1-0 in this best of 7. That was really that was some of the cleanest Oranos play I've seen in a long time. That was some of the cleanest. I'm calling it. That was some like Mr. Army Corps Magyar level shit right there. Super well played by Kimo. We're gonna jump into game number 2 as soon as the guys are ready. Thanks so much for everyone hanging out with me. We'll see if Joe can bring it back, he's obviously down. He's gonna try and bring it back. We've got a different map to go to, so we'll see what they pick. Stick with me and we'll get that next game coming ASAP.